What's good people, and welcome to the Silly, Nerdy, Sometimes Wordy podcast, and I'm your host, BK, and this is episode 25, a review of MJ TheMusical, my thoughts on it. And in this week's episode, I'll be reviewing Michael Jackson the Musical, and what I thought about it and how much fun I had with it. So I hope you will join me. What is up, everybody? I hope everybody is doing very well out there. Thank you very much for listening. Okay, so this week we're talking about MJ the Musical. It was an amazing show. This show covered a lot in Michael Jackson's life, starting off with the story. A lot of people out there, you know, Michael's history, his story. It covered from the time he was 5 and 6 years old, with him being in the Jackson 5 with his brothers, and the relationship, obviously, with his father, his mother, his brothers. It covered pivotal moments and how that relationship is and how it shaped him to be. And it was an amazing thing. It had a lot of music in that. There were a lot of flashbacks. It was back and forth showing Michael Jackson at different times in his life. And also, I'll say that the time that this takes place is 1994. It was during his preparation for the Dangerous tour. He was preparing to do that tour, and so that's the time in which this story takes place. So he is looking back on his life, different conversations with his father, with his mother, with his brothers. So it covered everything from Jackson 5, from him going to be solo, 16 in his 20s, and then ultimately him reuniting with his brothers, doing that last tour with the Jackson 5, and then continuing to go on his own. So yeah, a lot of different things. Really amazing. Let's get into the music. In this musical, they covered 40 songs. Orchestra and the band on stage did an amazing job. Covered all the great hits, whether it was Too Bad, Thriller, Price of Fame, Man in the Mirror, For the Love of Money, Keep the Faith, Another Part of Me, I Can't Help It, I'll Be There, I Want You Back, the J5 stuff. So a lot of songs that they covered. And it was so good, as well as the dancing and the choreography, the transitions between songs, the transitions between scenes and talking and singing. And it was really good. I highly recommend it. Particularly, I want to focus on the actor that played Michael's father, Joe Jackson. He also had the role of playing Michael Jackson's tour manager. And so there would be a back and forth between the actor playing Joe Jackson, Michael's father, and his tour manager. And he would go back and forth in between it. And the transition, how he would do it, it was so seamless, effortless. And the way that was done was really, really amazing. I'm sure that was a lot of practice, a lot of changing, but it was very good the way that happened. And I mentioned the dancing, the choreography, you know, all the choreography from all the different music videos, especially when they did Thriller. That was amazing. Of course, that is iconic, that video. The only thing I would say was missing is I didn't get the laugh at the end of the Thriller song. But that's okay. That's just one minor thing. I wish I would have got the laugh at the end of the Thriller song, but maybe, you know, copyrights, and nobody can't do it besides the guy that actually did it some time ago. Moving on. Another thing was the lighting. The lighting was amazing as well. They captured a lot of moments, and it was just an awe. Like, everything was just so on point. And then I'm pretty sure they took a lot of time to cast all of the Michael Jacksons. And speaking of the Michael Jacksons, there were multiple Michael Jacksons. They had the 5 and 6 year old Michael Jackson, the 16-year-old Michael Jacksons, the mid-20s Michael Jacksons, the Michael Jackson in his prime, in his 30s. So all of them were on stage, and at the same time, at one point they were on stage together, and just showing different periods of him in his life. And another thing that I noticed was Michael Jackson was inspired by Japanese animation. That was quite interesting to learn. He wanted to do this thing where you pop out of a toaster box, on stage. It was something that was never done before back then in the 90s. Everybody does it now, but he saw that on anime. So I thought that was really cool, where you're on stage, the artist pops up and he jumps couple feet, 6 feet off the ground, and then he lands, and then you're just there by yourself before the music and the lights come on. So that was a big thing that he had to deal with his business manager and tour manager for safety and paying for all of that. So it's a normal thing that's done nowadays, but back in 1994, that was not a normal thing to do. And also learning through watching this, Michael Jackson had some dance mentors that he followed. These two guys that were all about the rhythm. This one guy was Fred Astaire, and someone told him about making every moment big, from the way you move your hat to the way you move your fingers and the gestures, making those small moments matter. And now that I've seen that and heard that, and watching and knowing all of the music videos and his dancing, you see how good it is, because he makes those small moments matter. It's what makes the whole performance matters, whether it's in the music video, whether it's when he was on tour, different performances. And so making those small things matter. And you see a lot of that, you hear a lot of that when you're watching different dance competitions, well, as I do, whether it's So You Think You Can Dance or America's Best Dance Crew back in the day or World of Dance. Making those small moments, hand gestures matter. And he learned that from previous dancer years ago. So I thought that was interesting. So Michael Jackson watched anime back in the day. Who knew? All right. And let's continue on. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this show, and it's highly recommended that you go see it. I have nothing bad to say about it. Just one small thing, which is a minor picky thing. Like I said, I wish I would have gotten the laugh at the end of the Thriller song. But, that's quite all right. The vocals were on point for everyone, even the young Michael Jackson. So highly recommend that you see this musical if you get a chance to see it when it comes to your town. Okay, I think I covered everything I wanted to cover in this, and that is all I have for you today. The podcast, it is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Audible. So check me out there, leave a comment, subscribe. All right, that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed it. Tell somebody about it. And until next time, we will talk soon.